Good morning, students. Welcome to the virtual classrooms. We are studying carboxylic acid. In our last lecture, we studied its preparation. Today, we will be studying its physical and chemical properties. Right? First of all, we will go through physical properties of carboxylic acid. Now, when we are talking about the physical properties of the carboxylic acid, what we want to find out related to its physical properties that we are studying, it's based on two main things. One is solubility and one is related to its melting point, boiling points. Now, carboxylic acids. Have higher boiling point than alcohols. The reason is, though both of them are producing hydrogen bond, carboxylic acid goes for dimerization. It produces two H bonds, and because of it, the boiling point, melting point of these carboxylic acids are higher than that of the alcohols, right? And if we are talking about the solubility, lower molecular weight containing carboxylic acids are water soluble. Lower molecular weight means, again we recall it, lower molecular weight. Which compound we will consider that it's a lower molecular weight? Those compounds which are having it as an one functional group, 3 up to 3 carbons, we will consider it as lower molecular weights, right? If you are having 2 COOH groups, then up to 6 carbons we will consider that they are lower molecular weights, and we will find out that they are water soluble, right? So depending upon the lower molecular weights means it's again the same characteristic, 1:3. The ratio we will find out, greater the ratio, less is the solubility, right? Okay, next one we are having, it is a chemical properties. Now when we are talking about the chemical properties, our first property, that is to prove that it is acidic in nature, our carboxylic acid. That means the dissociation of, in this case this shows that there is a dissociation of only hydrogen from it, in the form of, it gets converted into carboxylated ion plus H plus, which proves that acidic character, to prove that it's an acidic character. So in that case, what are the reactions that we can show it? We can have it as an acid. It can react with metal to produce RCOONA, and H plus is given out. It not only reacts with the metal, it can react with its hydroxide also, which is strong base. It gets converted into RCOONA plus H2O. That means base, acid, salt and water. So because it's a base, you can say that this component is acid. It not only reacted with strong base, this acid reacted with weak base also. It also produces RCOO NH4 plus H2O, right? So this shows that this carboxylic acid are acidic in nature, but what type of an acidic character? They are weak acids. They are carboxylic acids are weak acids, they develop we will be getting it as an equilibrium constant formed by them when they are kept into the reaction of acid base. Right? Now, how much? If they are weak acid, then is there acidic character of each and every carboxylic acid same? Yeah, you cannot say that they are same. We will be getting it as a different acidic strength. So, how to identify the acidic strength? So, in that case, it is told that if RCOOH group is there, R is electron donating group. RCOOH, you will be getting it as an R as an electron donating group, and as a result it becomes an very easily RCOO minus H plus. This produces RCOO minus and H plus very easily, right? So in comparison, RCOOH, right? It's an electron donating group, but it's a less acidic. If you are having it as an RCCl, because this is electron withdrawing group. So acidic character of carboxylic acid is less if electron withdrawing group is attached to it. So if I now compare it, that my electron withdrawing group, if I take it as fluorine, if I take the electron withdrawing group as fluorine, then we will find out that Cl is less acidic, Br becomes even lesser acidic. The reason is electronegativity of this compound, it's in the form of FClBr, and so because of higher electron withdrawing group, acidic character is more. Sorry, I wrote it as an, it's a more acidic character. This one is going to become more because electron withdrawing group stronger, right? But if this group is extended, if I take it as an, the more number of carbon atoms from alpha to beta, we took this fluorine from alpha to beta, then what happens? Its acidic character is reduced. Then its acidic character is going to be reduced. So as the electron withdrawing group moves away from the carboxylic acid, its acidic character decreases. If electron withdrawing group moves away from carboxylic acid, its acidic character decreases, right? So alpha to beta to gamma to delta, acidic character will keep on decreasing. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, the acidic character increases, right? Okay, even if we go it for the further another character, that is, if I am having it as an, for the aromatic, I am having it as an RCOOH, which I want to compare it with aromatic acid, then we can say it that because of resonance, aromatic acids have are acidic character. That is, if we want to show it, the acidic character C double OH reacts with H2O, it gets converted into COO minus H3O plus. Now, as we know that it established the equilibrium, this COO minus will donate this electron over here and it will start to show the resonance. It will show it as an resonating structures where we will be getting it as an the compound. This lone pair will be over here, they two will remain over here, then the resonance will show it as it's taking away the electrons and getting it as a resonance, and because of this resonance we say that it's having more acidic character. So aliphatic are less acidic than aromatic acids, right? Okay, now within the aromatic acids, now if we want to compare within the aromatic acids, COOH, now what happens? This is an electron withdrawing group. And because of electron withdrawing group, its acidic nature is going to increase because this electron pair is going to be taken away by it. So what will happen? This one will donate very easily and H plus is given out. Right? So we get it as an electron withdrawing group. But in place of that, if we are having it as an electron donating group, then its acidic character is, this one is donating it. As a result, its acidic character decreases. So in short, we can say that carboxylic acid with electron donating group is lesser acidic than simple benzoic acid, which is lesser than electron withdrawing group. Right? So that is the characteristic of carboxylic acids, that we can get it by saying that depending upon the carboxylic acid, what type of an component is attached to it, whether it's an electron donating or whether it's an electron withdrawing group, the acidic character is going to change. Right? Electron withdrawing group will produce more acidic character compared to that of electron donating groups. Is it clear? Okay. Now all these reactions that we did it, they were where we simply produce carboxylated ion. Now if the cleavage of complete OH group is going to take place, the next reaction we are going to do it is, in carboxylic acid, the whole OH group is going to dissociate. That means we are going to get it as an OH minus separated, the cleavage of the OH group. So in that case, the first reaction that we will be having it for preparation, we can say that when we take it as preparation of anhydride, right? I'm writing as in preparation of anhydride, but actually it's a first chemical property of carboxylic acid. what we are doing it is, we are taking it as an 2 moles of RCOH on this reaction, dehydrating agent. We are going to add it as dehydrating agent like P4O10. On heating it, it produces RCO twice O. So that means H2O is removed. What is that reaction? We are having it as an one molecule of RCOH. The another molecule is also RCOH, but one loses H, one loses OH, and therefore we get it as RC double bond O anhydride group. So that is a method for preparation of anhydride also, or you can say that it's a first chemical property of carboxylic acid. Right? Similarly, the second property that we will be producing it is acid plus alcohol. Reaction of acid plus alcohol in presence of H plus. It gets converted into RCOOR plus H2O. This esterification, it's not necessary that it's always carried out with this component, right? We know it, we studied it as alcohol reacted with also acid. It's also known as esterification. Okay, third reaction, preparation of acid chlorides or acid halides. If I am using chlorine, chlorides. If I am using fluorine, fluorides. So in common, halides. So what we will be having it is RCOOH. Specifically I wrote chlorides. The reason is number of reactions that we have studied it. PCl3. It gets converted into RCOCl plus we will be getting it as an 3 molecules producing H3PO3. Alright. In place of that, if I want to take it as an only one molecule, then by using PCl5, we can get it as an RCOCl plus POCl3 plus HCl. We can also have it as an SOCl2. But out of these three, only SOCl2 is used to prepare aromatic acids. That is, if I am having it as an benzoic acid, SOCl2 only it's used. PCl5 or PCl3 does not give this reaction, right? Okay, the fourth one, the fourth reaction that we are going to prepare, it's amide. Acid, we know it that it reacts with base very easily. It gets converted into COONH4 salt, which on heating it gets converted into CONH2, right? It's a benzamide. It's not only for the aromatic, even aliphatic also gives the reaction. Right? The special reaction. If we are having it as an 2-carboxylic acid reacted with 2 moles of NH3, it gets converted into COONH4, COONH4, which on heating it gets converted into CONH2, CONH2. Further excess heating, it gets converted into phthalimine. One molecule of NH3 is removed back. We took it two, but one is removed back, and this compound is produced. It's known as phthalimine, NH, imine group. Right? So this is a specific reaction. Now all these four chemical reactions that we saw it, we did it as in the form of preparation of anhydride, esters, amides or acid chlorides, which are considered to be as a derivatives of the carboxylic acid. So all the four derivatives of the carboxylic acid also we saw it. We saw it in the preparation that they are on hydrolysis produces acid. By removing water, they get converted into their, from the acid, by removing water, they get converted into the derivatives. Right? So, preparation of derivatives of carboxylic acid, the same reaction. Chemical properties of the carboxylic acid, also we are writing the same reaction. Other than this, other than the derivatives of the carboxylic acid, the next one we are having it. Decarboxylation process. Now what is the specifications of the decarboxylation? Actually this is one of the important method to study how to reduce the carbon atom from the chain. When you are having it as an RCH2COOH, it's reacted with soda lime. Soda lime means CaO plus NaOH. This is known as soda lime. On heating it, it produces RCH3. Process is known as decarboxylation. Right? By removal of carbon dioxide, we reduced one carbon atom from the chain, and therefore we consider it as one of the important reaction for conversion to reduce the carbon atom. If we are having it as a benzoic acid and same soda lime, on heating it, it gets converted into benzene. And now from the benzene, any aromatic reactions we know it that we can start with. Right? So that is the decarboxylation process. The next one is reduction of carboxylic acid. Now reduction means a strong reducing agent will be used. LiAlH4. It gets converted into alcohol, but it will always produce primary alcohol. Acid on reduction always produces primary alcohol. They can't produce secondary or tertiary. They can be formed from secondary or tertiary, but they can't produce secondary or tertiary alcohol. Acid on reduction always produces primary alcohols. Okay. The next reaction, HVZ reaction. Now, why we are using this is an abbreviated form. H means hell, V Wohlard, Z Zaleski. Hell Wohlard Zaleski reaction. Right? HVZ means hell Wohlard Zaleski. In this case, alpha hydrogen is must. Because the reaction is going to take place on alpha hydrogen. It's going for the replacement of alpha hydrogen. If we are having it as an CH3COOH, alpha hydrogen is there, 3 of them are there. So on reaction with Cl2, in presence of red phosphorus, it gets converted into CH2Cl-COOH. That means your COOH group this time is not reacting. Neither it's removing H, neither OH. It's going it other than the COOH group, the reaction. This chlorination can be further reacted to produce CH2COOH till the alpha hydrogens are present. You can get it as till the alpha hydrogen, right? Suppose if I am having the compound CH3CH2CH2COOH, then what happens? The chlorination takes place on alpha hydrogen, CH3 CH2 CHCl COOH, right? But in place of that, if I am having an isomer Cl2, red phosphorus, then what will be the product? No reaction, because alpha hydrogen is absent. So this particular reaction is only for alpha hydrogen containing compounds. Okay, and like all the chapters, the last reaction we will be having, it is an electrophilic substitution reaction. This electrophilic substitution reaction, we will be always having it for aromatic compound COOH. COOH is electron withdrawing group, therefore reaction takes place on meta position. So whatever the reaction we are going to carry out, all the reactions, because COOH is an meta directing group, it's nitration if it is then concentrated HNO3 plus concentrated H2SO4, its reaction is going to take place on meta position. Maybe nitration, maybe chlorination, if we are doing it as an Cl2 in presence of FeCl3. So it's neither in presence of light, neither I am using red phosphorus. That means this reaction is going to take place on aromatic nucleus to produce metachloro, right? So like that, whatever the reactions that we will be carrying it out, all the reactions will be taking place on meta positions. Is it clear? Okay, that's all the number of reactions that we are having it, or physical or chemical properties that we are having it, right? Make it sure that you remember all the reactions together, so that it becomes an easier for you to go for conversions, right? As already I told you initially also, after completing all the 4 chapters of aromatic compounds, that is the 3 of them, today I am going to complete my 3rd. This is an end of the carboxylic acid, so aldehyde ketone carboxylic acids are over. So after completing my even the chapter of amines, we will be doing it some specific organic components as in reactions like conversions, distinguish test, identification test, right? Like that, whatever the possible questions are there, we'll make it as in practice in 1 or 2 lectures, but after completing all the 4 organic chapters, right? But as per the rules, for the government rules, the next chapter we will be starting with an halogens, right? Sorry, not halide. We will be starting with P block elements. Once we complete the P block elements, then out of the rule I will go it for the chapter of amines, and then we will do it those things, right? Okay, so from next time we will be doing it as in chapter number 7, that is P blocks, right? So it's a theoretical chapter. It will be must for you to have your textbook with you, because everything is there to read only, right? Basic concepts are there, whichever will be discussed, but it will be an oral discussion. Majority of the things you will have to read. So put your textbook ready with you, right? While I am going through that chapter. Thank you.